Now, your deep breaths at the beginning, during, and after the end of your practice are just as much for the physical body as they are for our mind. So let this be the time where you tune out the other stuff going on in your life. Whatever you set down at work to come practice, whatever you left, whatever loose ends you left, just let them be right now. And as you breathe in all the things that you enjoy in your life, all the things that sustain you, from the food you eat to the people you surround yourself with, to the things you do for enjoyment. Let all those things fill you up on the in-breath. And then on the exhale, just let go. Let go of a little bit of anything in your mind that is nagging, anything that may feel stressful, small, medium, or huge. And just use your breath to calm your mind, prepare your body for the practice. And as your mind wanders tonight through practice, because it very likely will, return your practice back to your breath. Bring it back to inhale and exhale. And let this beginning be a way to set the tone for breathing in all the things that sustain you, all the things that bring you joy, and letting go of some of that other stuff that we sometimes cling to or have to deal with, some stuff that may cloud our mind, some stuff that we could really do without. Take another deep breath. And bring your hands to heart center. And I'd like you to imagine right now how you'd like to feel at the end of our practice tonight. Set that intention. Good. And then open up your eyes. If you are lying down, you can rock yourself up to a seated position. And from our seat right here, we're just going to make our way to a tabletop on the mat. If you came on the later side, we talked about maybe using a strap or a small towel toward the end of practice. So if you have something within your reach that you can use, as a yoga strap doubles as a mat holder. But you could also use a towel of any size, and we can also use your hands if you can't find something or don't have time. So we're going to make our way to tabletop here. And from tabletop, I'd like you to just start with some head nods right here. So we're just going to keep the back and the hips still and bring the chin toward the chest, and then just gently look up. We're going to add the back in really shortly, but we're just going to use just that head nod motion from tabletop to begin. So chin to the chest, and then just gently looking up. Chin to chest. Of course, we're starting in a neutral pelvis. We want to make sure that we're not arched or tucked under in that cat pose, but we have a pretty flat back. And it doesn't pay off to rush these at all, so we're taking our time, moving through. We're going to start to add a little arch from the back here as you look up. And then as you round, push into your hands and look toward your navel. And lift your belly button up toward the ceiling and kind of arch your back here like a scared cat. And then on that inhale, drop your belly, lift your tailbone, lift your gaze. And exhale and round as you scoop through the navel and tuck the tail under. And then just find your own little rhythm here. Moving in and out of that cat-cow. Kind of taking inventory as we start to move slowly. How the body feels. Take one more. And then come through that neutral spine. Then we'll look over the left shoulder. Get a nice stretch for the right side of the body. Come back through center. And look over the opposite side. Come back through and switch. Come back, look over the shoulder. Come back. One more on each side. Good, and then come back through. We'll start from here, a little rocking, warm up the wrists. Whether we are staying in table tonight for some of you or moving into downward dog in a little bit, it's a great idea to warm up the wrists, especially if you're planning to do some chaturanga push-ups, knees or toes, still great to warm up the wrists. And also bringing our hips toward the heels helps us warm up, specifically for a chair pose, but some of our other standing poses as well. Because some of you said inner thighs are tight, we'll work into some single leg rocking too. I'll start with my left leg. I'm going to tuck the right toes under and give myself a little more stability right here. And with that, my left leg stretched out to the side. My toes are pointing forward as I rock forward and back. Easing into the inner thigh or adductor muscles. Just take note of where you're looking and how your neck feels. And if your neck feels a little bit stiff or uncomfortable, just change where you're looking and adjust it. We're gonna switch, tuck that left knee under, set the right leg out. We'll do a couple on my side. Good, and then tuck that under. Good, from there, turn the fingertips around to face the knees. Keep the toes tucked and sit back toward your heels until you feel that forearm stretch. Focus on your breath, because you're likely to feel the fire that I'm feeling in the forearms. Not unusual. Try to keep the whole palm down. If you're really flexible and don't feel it yet, flip the feet so the tops of your feet are down and bring the hips all the way back to your heels. Notice I can't quite get there. So toes tucked is the right spot for me to be in. Take another deep breath there. Good, and then slowly release. And we're just gonna let the wrist reach back and then fingertips down. Good, and then roll them a couple times each way. Good, we'll do the same for the feet. Hands come back down, tuck the toes under. If you hate this one, you can skip it. You're gonna sit back, hips over the feet, Hands at heart center, focus on breath. This is a good spot to remind yourself how you want to feel at the end of your practice. Use your breath to distract yourself a little bit and how your feet may feel a little fiery right here. If it's too much, you always have permission to ease out of it. One more breath. Good. We are going to release the feet, tap them out. Good. And then from there, before we moved up to down dog, we're going to stretch the shoulders a little bit. Plant the right hand. Reach your left arm up. And then we'll thread that arm underneath. Thread it underneath the right arm. Come down to your left cheek. Keep your hips high. Maybe take that right arm behind your back. Deeper stretch to the right side while you're threading the left. Good. Push into that right hand. Reach the left arm up. And then take it down. And then reach the right arm up high. Thread it under. You can stay right here. You can stretch the left arm in front, or you can wrap it behind your back. Good. Release the left hand. Push it into the mat. Reach the right arm high. Good. And then take the right hand down. You can stay in table if you need to. Spread your fingers wide. Tuck your toes or press back to down dog. So table or down dog. Long deep breaths. Just let that be your theme. When you feel like you get to a pose that maybe feels a little sticky or tight tonight, just want you to send breath to that area. See if you can give yourself a little more breath when you feel that tightness or that stickiness. Good. From your down dog or your table, we're going to slowly shift into a high plank pose. Good. And I want you to find a neutral pelvis and a lot of length across your upper back. So you might be here or you might be here. You just want to make sure you're not rounded in the back like this or sinking into the hips like this. But you have a straight line despite your curves, right? None of us are totally straight. But we're rolling the shoulders back, got length across the upper back. And by tucking the tail under a little bit, it helps us fire up the core, okay? So from where you are, knees or toes, we're gonna slowly take it down for 5. Take it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way down to your belly, and you're gonna rest your hands right underneath your shoulders, forehead is down. And then lift your forehead just a little bit and slowly shift your gaze forward on the mat. Slowly shift, let your eyes lead the way. And then slowly bring it back down. Stay relaxed through the lower body. Lift your forehead up so your face is about an inch away from the mat. And then very slowly, let your eyes travel forward on the mat to the floor in front of the mat. Keep traveling forward. Gently look up. And then slowly bring it all the way back. One more time, take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, start to shift your gaze again. Shift your gaze forward. Keep going. You can press into the hands a little bit. And if you'd like to lift your heart and your head up a little further, cobra style, you may. And then try to come down just as slow as you lift it up. Good, now from there, you can press up to your knees or tuck your toes under and press up to high plank. You find yourself in that high plank here, and then slowly shift back to down dog. A little more pedaling here. Now, I know we have some tight calves in class tonight. I'm with you. You're gonna warm them up a little bit, stretch them out a little more. Let's bend the knees, look past your hands, step or float forward. Take a halfway lift and then fold over your legs. Inhale, reach your arms up high. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Good, we'll do that again. From the top of your mat, inhale, reach up. And then exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step back to high plank. Good, take it down. Inhale, cobra or upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, bend the knees. Look past your hands, step or float forward. Take a halfway lift and then fold. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Good, take a deep breath there. Delayer if you are starting to heat up a little bit like me. So stand at the top of your mat. Find a neutral pelvis. Good, inhale, reach your arms up. Interlace the hands and flip them up toward the ceiling. Good, start to tip to your right. Push that left hip out to the side a little bit. Feel the stretch along the left side of the ribs. Good, inhale, come back up through center. Exhale as you reach to the left. Allow that right hip to jut out to the side a bit. Stretch along the right side. Good, inhale to come up. Bring your hands to your belly and hinge forward for a half fold here. Really flat back, eyes focused on the floor. Tiny bend in the knees just so they're not locked. You can keep it here, thinking about narrowing your rib cage and using a little bit of a brace here for the abs, but continuing to breathe. Okay, so our abs are strong, but we're not breath holding. You can keep the hands here or stretch your arms out to add that lever and challenge yourself a little bit more. Another breath here. And then fold forward. Heel toe your feet together. Knees are touching, quads are glued together here. We're gonna bring it up for chair pose. So create the chair, make it inviting. So safety, find a neutral pelvis, nice strong core. And one thing that really helps our back when we twist in this next one is if we keep the hips and the knees squared off in front of us. So when we twist, one usually wants to shift to the side, right? One knee wants to creep in front of the other. We're gonna try not to allow that to happen. So it's a subtlety, but really helpful, and you'll get more out of this one. Hands come to heart center. Right elbow hooks the outside of the left knee or the inside of the right knee. If that outside of the left knee isn't accessible, separate your feet a little bit and take that on the inside. You will benefit from both. And then here I am fighting to not allow that right knee to creep in front of the left. I'm also gonna try to work the hands as close as I can to heart center. And that's gonna give me a deeper stretch than spreading. But if I can get there and I still wanna spread the wings, you can do that. Right hand can come down, left arm up. Sometimes I like to try both and see which option feels like a deeper stretch on a given day. So it's an intense stretch, so breathe. Good, come back through center. Take a moment to reset. Take it on the other side. Hands to heart center. Left elbow hooks the outside of the right knee. We twist to look over the right shoulder. Breathe into your belly. Open the arms if you like. Good, and then come back through center, back to chair, and fold forward. Good, take it to a halfway lift. And then hands to your mat, step back to high plank. From that high plank, take it down halfway. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. Long deep breaths here. Shift your weight to your right foot. Allow that left foot to come behind it, just to the ankle. And see if you can press the right heel toward the mat anymore. Good, switch. Take the left foot down. Bring the right foot to your left ankle. Breathe into your left calf right here. Back of that left leg, behind the knee, all the way down to the ankle. Your soleus and your gastrocs are. Calves are the common name that we use. Good, you're gonna release that. You're gonna bend both knees a bit here, and then straighten your legs as much as you can. You can keep a little bend in them if you feel tight. Good, from there, inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, step it through. Keep the left hand down, stretch your right arm up. And lift that left knee up and away from the mat. Take the right arm behind your back. Good, reach the right arm up. Take the right hand down. And then we're gonna spin the left heel down. So the outside edge of the left foot comes down and we'll spin up to warrior two. That right knee is pointing forward, relax through your shoulders. Find your breath. And then find a neutral position here so that your shoulders are over your ribs or over your hips. Good, check in with yourself. See if you can send that right knee a little further forward. And then flip your right palm, reverse your warrior. Good, come back for warrior two. Right elbow to your quad, left arm extends long, extended side angle. Want a little more of a challenge, you can extend that right arm out toward the left edge of your mat. If you want a little more support, put that elbow right back in the quad. Slide the left shoulder away from your ear. Still reach through your fingertips. Good, and then bring it back to warrior two. And cartwheel the hands down, frame that foot, step your right leg back. Good, high to low plank. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, take an extra breath there. Good. And then we'll take it on the other side. Inhale, lift your left leg. Exhale, step it through. And then right hand stays down, left arm lifts. Lift the right knee up and away from the mat. Engage the quads on the right side, and then take that left arm behind your back. Reach for the right hip crease. And open your left shoulder up. I find when I really reach through this one, I get a really great stretch in the left glutes and outer hip. Good, lift the left arm up, left hand comes down, spin the right heel down, and start to cartwheel up to that warrior two. Good, breathe. Check in with your strong foundation of your core here, shoulders over ribs, over hips, and find that neutral pelvis. Look out over the left arm. Ask yourself if you can sink any deeper here in this left quad. And keep that depth as you flip your left palm and reverse your warrior. Good, come back to warrior two. Left elbow to the quad, right arm reaches. And that right shoulder stays away from the ear. We have that option to stretch the arm out over the right side of the mat, or to keep it in balance. Good, come back through warrior two. And then cartwheel the hands down, frame the left foot, step your left leg back. Good, high to low plank. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, take it to your knees. Sit back on your heels for a moment. Good, and then come up through your tabletop, tuck the toes and press back to down dog. Inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, step it through. And then take the left foot up and step it as much as you need to get the heel down, so that your foot is flat on the mat. Good, from there, if you have blocks in your reach, you can use them. You're gonna isolate your right hamstrings here, which doesn't mean you won't feel anything on the left. You very well may. In this case, I'll frame my right foot with these blocks. Get a nice long spine, take a deep breath in, and I really want the fold here to be right at my hips. Keep deep breath, and then exhale, fold over the right leg. Breathe into the belly of the muscle. Connect the mind to the body and imagine the hamstring muscles lengthening. Create space where there is tension. Allow mobility where there is some stickiness, some restriction. Let the head go. Good, and we'll ease up. Bend the right knee and step the left foot up next to the right but with about 2 fist width in between those feet. Now we're gonna bend the knees a lot and then wrap the hands around the legs. Weave your hands through to hold opposite shin. And then lift your hips and fold forward. Deep breaths. One more. Good, release the hands. Take it to a half lift. Hands to the mat, step back to high plank. Good, take it down half. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, step it through. And then the right foot steps up as much as you need it to get that foot down and flat. Deep breath in. Exhale, fold over your left leg. Good, ease up. Let that right foot step up next to the left. Good, and I'll show you a different intense fold here in case you didn't like wrapping your arms around. If you bend both knees, take your peace fingers and your thumb and hook your big toes. You can get a little traction there and hook the big toes. And then with the belly on your quads, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, straighten your legs and fold. Very similar to before, just pulling on to different part of the body. Let your head go. Breathe into your hamstrings on both sides. One more breath. Good, and then bring your hands to your shins. Take that half lift. And then hands to the mat, step back to high plank. Good, take it down halfway. Inhale, lift your heart. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right leg. And exhale, step into half pigeon. Or take that reclining pigeon on your back. So from that half pigeon, we can use that right leg and try to wiggle it back a little further away from us on the mat. Great to look over your shoulder every once in a while to see if it's kind of generally straight back behind you. And then you need to prop a towel or a slight pillow underneath the right hip. You can do that. Deep breath in. Exhale to fold into your pigeon. Good, start to make your way back up. If you have a strap nearby or a small towel that you can reach, grab it. We'll try king pigeon as an option. And it's a deep quad stretch. So we begin this one by bending the left knee and first plant the right hands on the mat. Mine is right in front of my right shin. You can reach back with your hand to catch the foot, or if you can't quite catch it with your hand, you can use a strap to hook it and kind of gently guide that foot a little closer. It might be here, and maybe with the strap you can bring it in a little closer. Your shoulders and your hips are still squared off toward the front of your mat. And you are breathing into everything that you feel. And if you feel pain somewhere, you're gonna back out of that, because that's not what we're going for. We're going for mobility, releasing tension, easing the body through different planes of motion. We're gonna release that. Tuck the left toes, step the right leg back, bend and straighten, open that head. And then lower the right leg down. Then inhale, lift your left leg, exhale, step it through, or take that alternative on your back. We're gonna slide the right leg back as far as you can. Deep breath in, and then exhale as we fold. Good, start to walk your hands back in, and then press yourself up. And if you want to try that king pigeon on the second side, you start to bend that right knee. Maybe reach back with your left hand or with your towel or your strap to guide that in. Good, breathe. Notice what you feel, breathe into it. Release that. Tuck the right toes. Both hands are planted. Step the left leg back. Bend and straighten it. You can also do this option from that table position. Open up that hip. Good, then we come back to a plank pose. A lot of length across your upper back. Good, breathe. And then we're gonna slowly make our way down to the mat. You decide the pace. Good. Once you get there, reach back with your left hand. Try to hold that left foot. If you're not able to get it with the hand, reach back with your strap and hook it around the toes and then gently pull it in and hold for a few breaths. Keep the knees pretty close together. And you're gonna get more out of this one here, guys, if you allow your tailbone to get heavy. So your pelvis plays a big role in how your legs are feeling. So if you can tuck your tailbone under a little bit here, this is similar to when we do the half kneeling stretch. You can tuck the tail under and you're pulling the heel in or your foot in at the same time, you're gonna feel more in your quads than if you were not tucking the tail a little bit. So we are just, instead of being archy, we're thinking about moving, finding a neutral pelvis right here. A little bit of heaviness in that tailbone is gonna help us access a deeper quad stretch. Grab, release the left foot, grab the right with your hand or your strap. Good, release that. And then from there, we're gonna come up to your forearms. We get into this one kind of silly. From your elbows, we're gonna tuck that right arm under. We're gonna hike that left knee up on the mat, and then let your right hand connect to that left knee. And we're gonna open up and stretch that left arm out to the side. And see if you can try to allow your shoulder blades to connect with the mat. And for many of us, that means that left leg is gonna lift away from the floor. That's okay. Good, then we're gonna come on to the back from here. Take the left foot down, stretch your left leg long, hug your right knee in. We'll take this one from a different angle. So the left hand is gonna bring the right leg across, and we stretch the right arm out here. We're trying to get the shoulder blades down. It's okay if they're not all the way there. Same stretch, we just reached it from a different point. Good, we're gonna slowly release that, come back to the mat. And if you have a strap or a towel, great. If you wanna use your hands, that's okay too. We're gonna start out by taking the right heel and letting the strap or the towel come around the heel and flexing our foot. The left foot can be on the mat with the knee bent. If it's available to you, you can stretch that left leg out. You can see my assistant here is ready for Shavasana. So she's getting herself all ready for that. You can see in the bottom corner of the screen. She's had enough yoga. All right, so we are stretching the hamstrings deeply here. So we are pulling up on the leg and bringing it forward as much as we can, flexing the foot, breathing. And then we're going to keep both hips down, allow the strap to open up to the right a little bit. And if you need to brace, you can take that left hand on the mat. Hopefully you're feeling this in your inner hip. Then we're gonna bring this leg back through center, and we're gonna bring the left leg up. We're gonna switch. So we actually have time for Shavasana. Almost there, guys. Right leg stretches out, or you can keep it here. We're gonna flex the left foot, so curl the toes back toward you. And if you are someone who struggles with that hamstring mobility, it really might feel a lot better to keep the right knee bent here. And then we're gonna just let that right arm come out to the side, let the left leg open up to the left side, and breathe. Good. Come back through center. Let go of that strap. Stretch your legs long and let your arms come out to the sides, palms facing up. So you are fully supported by the mat. Your breath is flowing in and out of your nose. You closed your eyes. long, deep breaths. Just notice the breath in and out of your nose. Notice the belly rise and fall. Move your fingers and toes a little bit. Roll around. Let your eyes remain closed. Push yourself up to a comfortable seat. And bring your hands to heart center. Just take a moment to notice again what you feel. What feels more at ease, what doesn't. We'll close our practice tonight with a compassion meditation. Bring to mind people that you know are suffering. People are suffering all over the world, in the Ukraine and right here at home. So bring all of those people that you are aware of into your mind and your heart. Take a deep breath in and say to yourself, may they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. Repeat for the next 3 breaths. May all of you be free of suffering and the causes of suffering. Namaste.